Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the BBO NYG podcast. I am Mike. Jules is back from his birthday. I guess he takes like a week-long vacation for his birthday to get a little fucking hammered and have a good birthday week. Congratulations on being 55, Jules. And John's here again.
Something like that.
and Jules will have time to go after me in a second. But special guest is Vin. Vin is back for Vinny part number 2. So I'm just gonna let Jules and Vinny take over. Everybody heard me and John our takes on the the draft pick. So go guys, let me hear it, man. I know Jules is gonna be fucking insane.
No. You know what? Listen. You know what it is that now it's so much time has gone on. There's other stories that have come about. There's more research that's been done. Because I don't know about you, Vin, but after the first night, and especially if you saw some of our video from that night, I was fucking ecstatic, but I was buzzing. We literally got, 2 of the 4 guys that I talked so highly about, wanted for days, getting Thibs and getting Neil. Granted, I wanted Icky, but whatever. I'm not going to split hairs here, right? Literally got the 2 best picks that we could have gotten, in my opinion, right? And I was saying this from the end, the end of January. So this has been going on for weeks and months in my eyes. So I was ecstatic. I mean, look, and you tell me, what was your feel on that Thursday night?
Thursday night, I was nervous. I love draft night, and I was super nervous because with Gettleman, you never knew, with that crazy pick, you know what I mean? Daniel Jones, what the fuck, I loved that once the Texans went with Stingley, I screamed out loud. I was like, yo, we're getting a right tackle. I'm like, we're getting a tackle. You know what I mean? I'm glad. I like Sauce, but I'd rather the pass rusher than the corner. So I'm glad that we got Tibbs. I got 2 reservations about Tibbs, though.
Okay.
Because I'm a cautiously optimistic fan. I think he's a little small. So I think Giant fans should temper their expectations of him. I don't know if he's a year in, year out, double-digit sack guy. I think he'll be up there with sacks because of Wink's system. And he's, I hope he works and polishes his moves, and I hope his attitude is perfect for the New York media and doesn't eat him up. I like that straight hands mentoring him. So I'm just a little, Tibbs is more like a human Yora to me, I think, in that ilk. He's not Von Miller. I don't want to put those lofty expectations on him. He played in the Pac-12. I like him. I'm a fan, but I don't want to put these crazy expectations on him because he was the 5 pick. And, he's not Chase Young. He's not these big dudes. He's smaller than that. And then, I wanted the right tackle so bad. I'm like, all right, let's go for. But they went to commercial, and I was like, forget the right tackle. We have our pick at 7. And like you, Jules, I wanted Icky too. But then as I'm thinking about it, Evan Neal is going to be better. Evan Neal is going to be 10 times. That guy's the size of a house, and nobody gets through him. I think Evan Neal was the perfect fit for this team. I think Shane won the night. He didn't draft. He didn't pick. He didn't trade back. I think it was great. I absolutely loved it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man, go ahead, please. I'm feeling that. But you know what? When you mentioned a couple of things there, the thing there with him being too small or a little undersized, that's sort of this day's NFL, right? You look at a Von Miller, right, who just came off of winning the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. Now he's with the Bills. He's about that size, and Ojulari is the same thing. That's the kind of size they are. Look, he's not going to be an Aaron Donald. He's not going to be, he's not going to be Chase Young. But then again, you know what? Chase who? Because last time I heard that name, that guy got less sacks than my man Ojulari does career-wise, all right? So let's just leave that shit alone right
Getting
there.
pancakes.
Right? So if I can Chase Young, fat bastard, he should be in the fucking middle stopping the run, all right? He ain't no pancakes. That's how I feel about that kind of
shit. Andrew Thomas is Chase Young's daddy, too.
Right,
you know
exactly. You know what I'm saying? bro, you know, you also got to keep in mind too. It's not the day of old where, you know, even if you take a look at LT, right? LT wasn't that big. You know, you got to think of, you know, you had your Reggie Whites and then you had your Lawrence Taylors, right? You had guys that were bigger, you know, Bruce Smith. You had those bigger guys that came off the corner and they were more of a monster because they had the speed, they had the size. Yes, you still have some of those players, but that's not what the whole NFL is about these days. You want guys that could then literally like drop back. You know, imagine where you have like a scheme that Wink Martindale puts in where he's got like a safety stepping up or a blitz from the linebacker, and all of a sudden you have Thibs dropping back in coverage. And all the guys got to do is just get in the flat and just distract the quarterback and put his arms in the air. But you want guys that are able to do that kind of stuff.
Look at Micah Parsons. They switched Micah Parsons mid-season. They threw that dude on the line.
Right. That dude was supposed to be just like an inside linebacker type at best. And now all of a sudden he's coming off the edge. So like that's what this day's NFL is. And
good point.
Right into that kind of model. That's why I was all for it. And you're right. Look, as far as Neil and Icky goes, that's why I said it earlier. It's just like literally splitting hairs. But like at the end of the day, dude, like Neil was supposed to be the first tackle taken off the board. Both of these guys, if you go back to like these mock drafts right around the Senior Bowl or right before, they were 1 and 2 or 1, 2 and 3. So I mean, like the fact that the Giants were able to get that at 5 and 7 is incredible. And I told these guys, and they'll back me up on this. When we were sitting at that 5th pick, you had to go defense there.
I agree.
The corners are off the board. So it was either that you maybe pull the trigger on Hamilton, which again, I thought might have been a little too early, or you got to go Thibs at that point in time because literally you're going to get your choice of a tackle. And Carolina went to Kiki, and we had a tackle sitting there.
Pass rush is way better for the simple fact that for wing system, but also that like Hamilton is good, and he could be the best player in the draft, and you guys really, really put me onto him. But like, do you want to put your money 4 years from now into a safety or a pass rusher? You know what I mean? Like I'd rather put my money on the line. Give me the money in the line. You know what I mean?
And a pass rusher was one of the best first steps in a long time that you've seen coming off of a player coming off that edge. Yeah. His quickness and way to adjust is incredible. I mean, like this guy, and the guy's good against the run. If you really watch film on Thibs, he could stop the run. You know, he plays like a small big guy. You know what I mean? And he's not small. He still weighs about 245, 250. I mean,
he's more than that. I actually looked it up as you guys are talking because you piqued my curiosity. Chase Young is 6'5", 265.
Right.
Thibodeau is 6'4", so 1 inch less, 258.
Right.
So he's got 1 pound, 1 inch and 7 pounds. That's all it is. It's like a steak. That's all he's got on him.
I guess it's the way he carries himself. I don't know. He does it, or maybe because I saw the pictures with him next to Neil.
Neil
is a monster. Neil is a giant. When I saw the pictures with them too, I was like, "Yo, Tibbs is a midget compared to." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
You know where they're gonna have Neil play? He's gonna play both right tackle and right guard. They won't need to have a right guard because he's so fucking big.
Dude, I love the Neil pick. I'm into it more and more every day.
Well, listen, only a dumb GM would have went a tackle at number 5. You know what I mean? What kind of idiot GM would have done that? You know what I mean?
With everything written on the wall at that point.
That first round, like any of us could have picked those two guys. It would have been so easy to pick. Yeah. Now, guys, moving on to like rounds 2 and later. Jules, you did not like this according to your Twitter feed. Between rounds 2 through 6, so I'll let you start, and then I want to see what Ben got to say about it.
I mean, look. Initially, of course, my reaction was going bananas because I'm sitting there on Friday night. I was going out for dinner for my birthday, and literally, I was sitting there, and the Giants trade back with the Jets, and I'm like, all right, we didn't move back that far. I'm like, cool, let the Jets move up. They go get a running back. I'm like, awesome. I'm like, well, here we go. Oh wait, Giants trade again. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, I got reservations. I got to get the fuck out of here. And I'm literally trying to see the pick before I bounce. And then hit it back. And like, literally, I'm like, yo, throughout this whole time, I'm like, all right, I still like Booth Jr. if you want to go get that corner. Because like, obviously, we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about this later on tonight. But, you knew that the things were going to happen at corner and we're going to probably need one. So Booth Jr. looked familiar, right? Looked great there. But I also was a huge fan of the Kobe Dean. So I'm sitting there and he keep trading back, and then Boo Jr. literally goes right before. So I'm like, son of a bitch, we miss out on him. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Dean is there. Man, let's make this defense sound even sicker. We're going to have some help with Martinez. Let's pull the fucking trigger. And all of a sudden I hear, Wandale. And I'm like, who? Out of Kentucky. And I'm like, what? I thought that shit was like a fucking joke. I'm like, who the fuck is Wandale Robinson? Now, look, initially, I went off my fucking rocker with that pick. All right.
You did.
And at that point in time, the TV just literally like clicked, and I walked out of the fucking house. All right. And I may even done a shot or two on the way out just cause, right?
I think people reported your tweets. That's how bad it got that night. I think I was one of them. I reported your tweet. I'm like, yo, fuck this guy. Like, he's going to be on the next haters ball.
I almost got myself in our haters segment, and I'm on the motherfucking show, right? But
that's right.
In hindsight, and I'll finish with this a bit. Obviously, I don't want you to chime in on this, but I've done a lot more research on the guy. You've also seen him in a lot of interviews now, post-draft interviews. He actually seems like a really good dude, right? He's excited about it. His work ethic is supposed to be through the fucking roof. He actually came into college as a running back. That's initially what he wanted to Nebraska doing. Everybody was saying, oh, you know, he was doing some running backs and he lined up there and he was wide receiver, but he actually went to that school as a running back and then realized that he wouldn't have been an everyday 3-down back. So he started converting into this sort of hybrid, learned how to run routes, started doing this shit. So then they just really started using them for everything. End the rounds, running between tackles, running short, passes and everything else. And all of a sudden he came into this player that I'm like, holy shit. He almost reminds me of like a Dave Meggett 2.0. And for those of you who don't remember, Google it. You know, you could probably look up Dave Meggett if you're a little too young to remember who that is. But those of you that don't, he does. Except I don't know if he's necessarily going to have to be that true in between the tackles type of guy. I think it'll just be like a couple of plays here and there just to keep that defense honest if he does line up in the backfield. And it's going to take shit off of Saquon's plate, in my opinion. Because now you're not going to have to run Saquon every single down or have him out there, because you could put Robinson back there, or you could like use Saquon as a decoy. So I see what he brings to this team. You know, I don't really buy into that whole talk that like he's there. We took him because he's like a Tony 2.0. You know, he's like Kadarius Toney, and he's going to be there because Tony's not, and we're going to get rid of him. No, I see this guy fit into a completely different role. I mean, you got to keep in mind too that Shepard is probably not going to be there beyond this year, right? You know, you're going to have Galladay. We don't know what we're getting out of Slayton. So you may have a year, and it could be as soon as 2023, where it's literally just Galladay and Wendell and Tony. And those are our 3 receivers, you know? So he's grown on me. I definitely need to see what he looks like, you know, once they start practicing and you start seeing preseason and all that kind of shit. But I'm definitely not as upset as I was on draft night.
Jules hit the nail on the head. I kind of agree with, from feeling to what I think. The night of the draft, I'm sitting there watching it because I love even night 2. And we trade back. I'm like, all right, you know, we trade back with the Jets. Jets are going to go get their guy. Jets are super aggressive this year. Whatever. Who cares? I'm like, all right, well, you know, like you said Booth. I wanted Booth. I was like a corner because Bradbury, you know, we're still figuring out what we're doing with Bradbury in night 2. So I'm like, we need that corner. And he's nice, big body corner, could, you know, with a Dory on one side and then Booth on the other. We're pretty thin at that position. And then we'll save money with the Bradbury contract. But then we trade back again. I'm like, oh man, like we're playing Russian roulette here. I'm like, we're really gambling. I think Shane wanted to do what we did last year to get Aziz, that we traded back and we still got Ojulari. Yo, we were 1 pick away from Booth. 1 goddamn pick away. I thought I was like, oh, tell me this dude Booth. And I was like, I was going to go nuts if Shane pulled that. I think they panicked. Once Booth came off the board, he says that the deals were already in place before the draft, which I don't even know how that all works.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm like, really? Like, you don't see how the board flips out, you know, how the board comes out and then you make your trades? Like, it's a little weird that he said that, but whatever. And then I feel like they panicked and they went with, he left so many. If you wanted to go receiver, which I wouldn't have done, because I feel like we have so many other needs. Like the needs you talked about, Jules, before are not this year. I think they're going to be next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what Kadarius gives us because he has yet to give us a complete season. You know, let's see. And you know, his commitment is in question right now. But
not even a
Wendell Robinson, like say.
Not even a complete game he gave us.
Yeah, right. You know, he punched a dude with a helmet on. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like the Wendell Robinson, the guy is not short. He's tiny. He's 5'8". I keep going at these guys like their height and their weight and the I don't know if what he did in Western Kentucky could could translate to the pro game. And I agree with you, Jules. I think he might not even run like little screens or even, in the slot and stuff, because we already got that guy. He's going to take some heat off of Saquon. I think we're going to run him out of the backfield. I really do. I think he's going to be, because I was expecting, I think we talked about it, like Dalvin Cook's brother. I was like, maybe the Giants go get themselves a running back here for insurance with Saquon. I'm like, maybe this Robinson kid is that. He had a hell of a lot of catches, man, for the SEC. Like he had, the production was there. But again, it's the college to the pros. Let's see. I didn't like the pick. I still don't like the pick. It's a head scratcher. I'm still consistent with where I'm like, Shane dropped the ball. I think he panicked after, again, I think he's somewhat allowed, somewhat of a mulligan. But if this doesn't work out, it is what it is. Because we had a high second. Considered almost the first round.
You know what else can haunt us too? You always hear about how when we miss a pick, like we've been hearing about fucking Justin Fields, right? And you heard about, Josh Allen, defensive tackle Josh Allen, right? And we passed on these guys and they always come back to haunt us. Well, one name, and again, apparently the team that took this guy was high on Robinson as well. So I don't know. But we passed on Sky Moore. And a lot of people had Sky Moore as a first round possible, if not early second round wide receiver. And because he went to a smaller school, he wasn't getting the same kind of recognition as some of these other guys. And not to mention as well, this was a very deep wide receiver class.
Right.
So this is where Sky Moore didn't play. And he ended up in Kansas City. And he literally won a couple of picks later. And apparently that's the reason why they pulled the trigger and they jumped on Robinson, because they had that choice. So that's a name to me that I hope doesn't come back to bite us, because you never hear about this second round shit. It's like people fucking go to sleep in the second round, and they're always the big fucking critics about, oh, this is the guy you missed in round one. And it's like, you know what? There's so much talent in round one that's going to happen every fucking draft. I can show every fucking team in the NFL where they missed out on a guy round one because they took this other guy that was a higher recruiter.
There was another receiver. It wasn't just Sky Moore. It was another receiver.
Sky Moore was the one that stood out to me, where I know that, like when I calmed down a little bit more and sobered up like Saturday afternoon, I was like, well, they passed on Sky Moore. If we were going to go fucking wide receiver, Sky Moore was definitely higher on my board.
This guy, I think everybody in this chat right now is taller than 5'8". You know what I mean? Like 5'8", that's fucking small, guys. You know what I mean? That's small. I'm hoping he's a running back. That honestly, I hope they use him as a running back, like, and maybe do a little couple.
I mean, don't forget we still got Matt Breida. So Matt Breida is going to take a lot of the in between tackles just in case to give Saquon a little bit of a break. They have Brightwell still on the team, so they have guys. There's that other one that they signed that's on the practice squad that's been with Buffalo.
Well, that's my point, though. You could pick up a running back off the fucking street. You could get one off the street, and they'll be fine in a good.
I think they really are going to use this dude in like a lot of different sets. He will line up in the slot, but he might do an end around. He might fake that end around. You might see him coming around in motion, and they just run Saquon straight up the middle. Like, there's going to be a lot of that kind of shit. That's the type of play that I'm seeing with this. How they're going to mix that in with Tony. I mean, who knows? Maybe
let him be Debo.
Yeah, right. I mean, I know there's been some comparisons to that, except Debo's a lot bigger. But
that guy gets hurt, and that guy gets hurt all the time.
And the other name that's going to haunt me, and I hope it doesn't, is Nakobe Dean, because he went to the Eagles. So now I saw Micah Parsons go to fucking from Penn State go to fucking Dallas. And then Dean ends up in Philly. It's torture for me. I mean, thank God we got Dibs, because if not, I would have lost my fucking mind. But too many of those guys have left. Hopefully, Dean, there's a reason why he fell to the third round. I mean, he didn't even go in the second round. He fell to round 3. So, there is things with that, and then just to kind of like move it along, because I know people have been hearing about this fucking draft on and on and on again. Look, Float, I think that's how you pronounce it. He seems to be a pretty decent slot corner. I know we're going to need that guy there. Listen, he was good. It's just that people felt that we reached a little bit on him. But then it goes back to that old saying, if that's the guy you wanted, that's the guy you had on the board because you think he fits your system, then you go out and you take him, and the same can be said for, I'm sorry, I skipped the other pick. Was Joshua Izidu, whatever, from
North Carolina guy.
There was definitely other guys on the board. My boy Parham was on there at the time. So that was starting to frustrate the shit out of me because I didn't understand that. But apparently what I read a few weeks later is that he, it's his versatility and the fact that the way that they run their zone blocking as far as the run is concerned, the way he was in college fits the Giants' new offensive system perfectly. So they'd rather have this guy come in who's sort of been doing something similar on the college level that understands the offense and understands how to block like that and does that very well. And that's the reason why they brought him in. Again, he's not supposed to be the starting guard this coming year. He can earn it. Don't get me wrong. He can go out and take that shit. But going into camp, he's not supposed to be the starting guard. So, like, there is some development aspect there that is available. Look, the Daniel Bellinger pick was great as far as being one of those kind of like blocking tight ends that literally now is like they're saying he's like a Kevin Boss with speed and great hands. So, you know, like you add that kind of part into that. And then to me, the two last guys that I want to just add real quickly, and then I'm done, is McFadden and Beavers. I fucking love Darren Beavers, by the way, with that last pick. I know a lot of people started jumping on the bandwagon with that type of shit. But, I had that guy in the third, fourth round. Like he was that kind of linebacker for Cincinnati, who I think just because he played at Cincinnati and they did get into that bowl game and they didn't really get the full recognition that school actually deserves, he was kind of down on a lot of people's lists. And the fact that he fell to us there, if he could just come in with a chip on his shoulder, you're going to see Beavers and McFadden play. You're going to see these guys play. They're going to get in. I don't know which of the two is going to be better. I'm not saying they're going to be all pros, but they're going to play, and I can see them being, contributing to this defense.
Couple things. Linebacker position with Dean dropping the way he did with the talent level he had, and Beavers getting picked up in the 7th round. I feel like linebacker is just become one of the most neglected positions on defense now in football. Think about it.
It's almost like the running back is. It's like the linebackers and the running backs.
Linebackers aren't from the 80s and the 90s anymore, where they used to run, the defenses. Dude, the linebackers now, like the safeties, they do like these hybrid safeties now. They're doing linebackers. Defenses are catching up with the offenses because slot receivers are burning the crap out of all these linebackers. So now they had to get slot corners, and now they got these hybrid guys in the box, from the safety. So it's like linebackers have become like it's becoming like a what do you call it? An endangered position, kind of. You know what I mean?
Like you hit it on the nose. It reminds me if like you had to look at from the offensive side of the ball. It's the way running backs are falling down.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Like you almost won't see a running back go in the first round. Like teams are scared to do it. It's kind of the same with a linebacker, unless he's like that true middle linebacker, like an Urlacher or a Singletary or something like that, where he's just going to run that defense from the middle.
No,
you don't see these linebackers here
started bring this whack ass cowboy up again, but Micah Parsons was a linebacker. He didn't end up there. He ended up on the line because that's where the bread and butter is. That's where the defenses are. They're trying to catch up with these fast offenses.
They should just eliminate all linebackers totally. Don't even call them linebackers anymore. Just have fucking like 10 safeties in the backfield.
That's it. Get it over. That's what it looks like it's doing.
Small fast can't hurt them football. You know what I mean? That's why these guys are playing. These little guys that are 5'8" are playing football now because they're not allowed to get hit. And if they do, it's a fucking penalty, and you can get fucking thrown out the game. It's fucking great.
For Kyler Murray to be drafted number 1 and now demanding money, it's crazy.
It looks
Your
like
father's father would roll over in his grave if he heard about Kyler Murray and his shenanigans being all but like 5'10". It's crazy.
Dude's a fucking midget, and people still want to put him in like the top fucking 10 for NFL quarterbacks right now. And I'm like, yeah, right. Slow down, fuck that. Him in fucking Jalen Hurts. I'm a schmuck over in fucking Philadelphia. Like, when I see PFF, by the way, wait, I'm going to save that for the haters segment because I got 2 guys now, Mike. All right. Thank you, Vin, for just reminding me about that. Bro. You got me all hyped up now. Let's go, bro. The draft kind of lulled me to sleep a little bit there. Now I'm awake again.
I agree with Jules on the Ellinger pick. Loved it. I like the Belton pick too, safety. I love that pick. We got 2 linemen from North Carolina, both project picks. They're going to be projects. We got to get, the high projections, high ceiling. Let's see, or low ceiling maybe. Let's see what happens with them. I like that he addressed this line with 3 linemen. Could there have been better linemen like Parham? I agree. But I don't know. This is Shane and Dable's first go by, round. So I hope this all works out. Yeah, Beavers stands out to me. I don't know too much about McFadden.
He was good in Indiana. He played good ball.
Yeah.
He was all right. He was good, solid. You know, like he went basically where he should have. Maybe he could have won a little like earlier, but like, that was one of the ones where like he probably could have won a little earlier. So
And again, we're thin there. We're
Right.
so thin. We're
so
thin
we need the
at-
help. We definitely
Yeah.
need the help. We
So
got
I
it.
like now. I don't know if you guys know. Are we with Wink? We're still at 3-4. That's why we hired Wink, right?
He was in Baltimore, yeah.
So
That's
are
like-
we?
Wait,
Who's getting benched?
He's like one of those 3-4 hybrids, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've been reading and everything. Is that
Yeah.
it is a 3-4, but they can give like a 4-3 type of look at times, and like the
They'll probably throw Thibodeau in the back, right? Thibodeau on the outside. in the
Listen,
back.
don't be surprised. There will be some times where I think I'll see, you'll see Tibbs dropping the pass coverage. He did it in college. It was mentioned in a lot of videos when we drafted him, and therefore, videos covering everything since. So, I mean, look, is he the best pass defender? Absolutely not. But the guy can get back there. He can fucking move.
Right.
Like you mentioned Chase Young earlier. I don't see fucking Chase Young dropping back into the flat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, Tibbs can do that kind of stuff where like it just keeps offenses guessing at that point. If you have offense coordinators guessing at different fronts and different ways that they're approaching, that's what really creates more pressure. Like, yes, you do still need like the Boses to come get you after the quarterback, but you still have to be creative with how you attack. And that's what I think this defense is starting to build and look like, And look, hopefully if things do hit and we don't need to go and spend that first round on a quarterback, well, then we're sitting pretty. Because then it's like we may need that cornerback too, or maybe we don't, or maybe we need that linebacker because we need one more guy to go with Blake, or maybe, and at that point, hopefully by next year, it's just one or two pieces that are missing versus us still having to do like this rebuild. Yeah. But we'll see. The offensive
year one of a real
look.
Well, they only got 2 years to do this. Otherwise, they're gonna get fired because every 2 years we got to go through a coaching staff. So if they blow this and suck for the next 2 years, they're gone too, man. Don't get used to it.
I would guarantee this much: if they win 7 or more games next year and then 7 or more games the following year, they will be back for a third year. Yeah, right.
7 games in year 2.
Overall, I think day 1 they knocked out the park, home run. Day 2 to me was a failure. I think that's day 2 is gonna hurt. And I don't mean just the window.
So wait. You know what, man? I'm gonna start right there for me because I want to start off some shit, and maybe I'll have to be the one that does this. And because I was such a hater, and I don't want to sit back and eat fucking crow, Mike and John, would you guys not agree that right now there is 100, and you guys might even be part of this team, and you might be a bit too, fans that are wait till Kadarius Toney blows up this year, right? Oh, Kadarius Toney. We're going to hear about fucking KT. He's going to go make a fucking rap video about it, right? And literally, that guy is supposed to have the big year, right? So if you had to put your money on it, who has the bigger year? Wendell or Kadarius? Who has the bigger year? Let's go. Mike, you're up first. I see you itching.
Tony.
That's
it. You're
John,
guy.
Wendell or Toney?
Kadarius Toney. He's a first-round pick.
All right, Vin, Wendell or Toney?
Go Wendell.
Oh, all right.
Mr. Wendell.
I'm going Team Wendell all the way now. Fuck Toney.
Wow.
What do you think that they're going to do?
He don't want to show up to practice. It's voluntary.
I have a problem. Yeah, his availability.
I'm on the Wendell fucking Robinson track. Let's go, baby. I'm gonna go get his jersey.
What were you saying, John?
I mean, obviously, Kadarius Toney's got talent. It's not like he's not going to play unless he's hurt. You think he's going to be hurt?
No,
because he's not hurt.
I'm just saying at the end of the day, don't be shocked if he steals away and he steals his shine, right? So Toney was going to blow up. He was going to have 75 for 1,200 and 10 touchdowns, and his shine just got robbed, dude. Now you're down to like maybe 55, 60 because my man fucking Wendell.
Isn't that a good thing for the Giants as a team?
Oh hell yeah, it would. Well, that's why. That's why it's just a fun.
I don't care who the guy is that's fucking scoring the touchdowns. I just want to fucking cheer. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get on. So since midgets seem to be like the big thing that are fucking popular now in football with Kyler Murray out there in fucking Arizona, I'm gonna get on us small guys bandwagon and say that he's gonna fucking be the one that shines and he's gonna steal some of KT's shine. That's it. You heard it.
He's gonna have a few big plays
tonight. Huh?
I definitely see him having a few big plays, but I just don't know that he's gonna be on the field enough to like
Wait
outperform.
wait till he
Kadarius
breaks
Toney.
that first end around that they used to fucking give to Evan Ingram, and it would look like it would take it fucking slow motion and shit. And they had like the fucking cheat code in, and they knew to fucking tackle that shit in the backfield. Wait till
That's my
Robinson
favorite
takes one of
play.
those around the corner, bro, and he
I love
breaks that
that
shit for
play.
like 75 yards down the sideline. All right,
That's my
puts
favorite
it
play.
back on the
That-
fucking safety, and he's out.
That play in Madden was a cheat code, bro. Evan Ingram on the fucking dig, bro. You literally couldn't stop it. It was 75-yard touchdown, 6-yard touchdown, first down when you needed it.
Like, yeah, so stupid.
You know what I'm
So
talking
stupid.
about?
I'm actually disappointed. I'm disappointed that Evan Ingram's on the scene though, and I can't use him.
This shit ain't realistic, man.
And then
Wow.
for day 3, I think we did good. I think day 3 was solid. Day 1 was great. Day 2 is my only gripe. And I think coming out of this draft without an outside corner is my biggest gripe. That they didn't address that corner. I don't know, Fly, is it? And how many slot corners do we need? We have Darnay Holmes. I guess Aaron Robinson comes out now.
I think he's the favorite to win the cornerback 2 slot, without doubt. So,
and I liked what I saw from him last year, but he's another one who was hurt a lot. These guys got to stay healthy, man. They got to stay healthy.
They got to stay healthy.
After today, dude, after today, man, like, now we're in like kind of desperate need for corners because, I'll lead into it. Like, Bradbury got released today after actually a trade with the Houston Texans actually fell through. They just decided to release him. So now that's about $23 million in dead cap between him and Logan Ryan going into next year. That's a disappointment.
I don't understand the Logan Ryan move. The Logan Ryan move makes no absolute sense unless it was like a gentleman's agreement. They're like, you know what, Logan Ryan, you got a big mouth. You're going to have to go, Like, I don't understand the Logan Ryan move. He signed with Tampa not even like 6 hours later. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly that tells you everything you need to know. He probably already talked to them because the Giants, now that they lost their coach and all that stuff, he's like, fuck it. He's like, I got a year or 2 left. I'm going to try to go get a ring. Can you release me?
He's also trying to get paid because, part of the reason why the Giants apparently cut him or let him go and everything else was because he came off of that foot surgery, and it was reported, but it wasn't reported, or there was like details that were omitted from the whole fucking thing that happened.
So weird.
And that's the whole gripe that they're claiming is what the problem is. But then he's also trying to come after money that the Giants will now owe him. So it's not like they just broke away and he was like, fuck it, I'm an older guy now. I got to go shot to go play for Tampa, who's like, like the second overall favorite to win the Super Bowl, third, whatever it is.
You're playing Tom Brady. You're always going to be a top 5 contender.
Yeah, of course. No, they're definitely the top 4 without question. But like, I think there was something weird there. Maybe it was that, right? Maybe he's just playing that, I got this beef with the Giants because, they still owe me this money. And he's just kind of playing that role because really he just wanted to go to Tampa and he don't want to make it look that obvious. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, there was definitely some behind the scenes shit where if he wasn't a class act and he didn't keep things quiet and under wraps like he did, you would have heard a lot more. But because he walked away the way he kind of did, and he seems to be a good dude off the field as well. That's just how that shit goes sometimes. They keep it within the NFL fraternity. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, but yes, I mean, look, Bradbury got released. We know this. It didn't come as a shock to anyone. I think the only thing that came to me as a shock that I read earlier today was the fact that Houston and the Giants were so close, apparently, to actually getting a deal. And that would have shipped Bradbury to Houston. So I don't know what the deal was. I don't know the details. Obviously, that was released. They just couldn't close it down and get it finalized. And that's where we missed out. So if that is true, and that's just not, again, smoke, that'll just fucking send away that maybe Bradbury doesn't end up in the NFC East, let alone the NFC entirely. I don't know. But, that's the smoke that's apparently coming up. I mean, to me, I don't understand how a team like Tampa, even though I know they have Logan Ryan, doesn't put everything they can to go get him. I mean, that was their biggest fucking issue last season, was their cornerback position. They were hurt so desperately in that. I mean, that's how they made Dak Prescott look great on that Thursday night game.
Bro, how is Bradbury not being able to be afforded on the Giants with no stars, no big quarterback fucking whatchamacallit contract, no big passer contract except for Leonard Williams, and Tampa has Tom Brady and all these other fucking players, and they can go out and sign fucking Bradbury too? Like, do we have a lower cap than them? Like, doesn't make any sense.
Nah, you know what I think it was, though, John? You brought up a great point. It's because Brady, and he did this in New England for 20 years, he takes less money. He literally does
doesn't
bonuses.
take less than fucking Daniel Jones is going to be paid this year.
No, I know, but like I hear what you're saying there. But don't forget,
He's still
you had
30.
the Williams contract. There were some big contracts that were still there.
Blake
Yes, we
Martinez.
restructured Blake. Yes, we restructured Shep. But like we had to restructure it and it still counted more. Like shit, I bet you Shep is making what Godwin's making. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they balance out at the end of the day. Don't forget, we're still paying Kenny Galladay. We're paying Adoree Jackson. So those are big contracts that are being paid. And that's where some of this kind of stuff ends up hurting us in the end. Look, I don't know what Gelman was thinking. Obviously, we can't get in that head, and that's just beating down an old dead horse at this point. But he made some decent moves, and then he made some head scratching ones with these contract signings, and now it's coming back with a whole new regime and a whole new coaching staff and everything involved, and they're trying to correct what they see being wrong, and that's kind of put us in this predicament.
But
I got 2 questions. I'm sorry, I got 2 questions for you guys. Do you think Bradbury was ever approached by this new regime to restructure, and he was like, "Fuck you," like I'm not restructuring? Yeah,
I think that it's something
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
middle. I think he was definitely asked, but I don't know if he said "fuck you." They probably just couldn't come to a term that was, he was willing to go down to. He figured, you guys are on the hook. You have to pay me, and I'm not going to take, I'm not going to do you fucking a huge favor here.
Right.
A couple $1 million, I could stay. I don't have to move, sure, but if you're going to ask me to save you $7 million, $8 million, whatever it is, I just can't give it up.
and then my other question would be, who would you guys rather have, Bradbury or Saquon on this team going forward? Obviously, they've chosen Saquon, as they release Bradbury. Who would you rather have, going into this year?
Saquon over everybody.
I knew what your answer was going to be.
Oh, my answer is exactly the same.
I'll give a fuck what anybody thinks.
I mean, if it's going into 2022, I will side with Barkley. If it's just going into 2022, if it's going into 2023, and I said this a couple weeks back, how about neither of them? But that's just me. And I went out there and I did what I said, and I said what I did.
You're not going to
Haters
pay him a
club.
lot. Why would you not want him on the team?
Me and John just nominated Jules.
I just don't think. I think our time with Saquon may be done after this season.
Why?
Win, lose, or draw, no matter how good he goes, because we didn't give Daniel Jones a 5th year. Okay. So now the Giants are successful and this offense does go. You can only franchise tag one of these guys. So that means you now have to give a contract to one or the other one to keep them on this team. And who's more expendable? Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry. Being a 27-year-old running back with a history of injuries, going in, you're going to give him an extension for 4 or 5 years? Hell no.
Why?
So you either then you can franchise tag him and he stays around for one more season, and then you give Daniel Jones the big contract. Again, this is saying that both of them
have to be a big it has to be a contract that they deserve. That's all it has to be.
Yeah, but
Saquon doesn't deserve right now a $20 million payback.
But you're also going to have to pay Saquon turning 20. He's a 27-year-old running back with injury history. How many years
running back? He's only played in like 40 games.
Doesn't matter. He's got injury.
Who's overpaying him? Who's overpaying him anyway?
Why is it? If he becomes a free agent, he can test the market. We don't have to franchise him. And if no team is willing to give him $15 million a year, then we don't have to either. All we have to do is, worst case scenario, be a little bit more than the next best offer that he gets. He even may want to take a discount because
if you got a team that
stay in New York.
If you get a team that feels that they're running back away from the going to the chip, winning the chip, and they're gonna they don't care if they pay him 3 years because fuck it, they'll take whatever hit they have, or they bang them, they run them to the ground for those 3-4 seasons. They're trying to win a chip this year, that year or the following year. They don't care. They're gonna give that kind of money. I mean, look, if you look at it now, Saquon, if I'm not mistaken, he's like the 11th or 10th highest paid running back in football right now. He's up there already, guys. Yeah. So, what do you think? You don't think teams are going to come in higher? So you're going to have to, especially if he has a great year this year. And now you're paying a 27-year-old running back with injury history. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Now when you can go get a Bryce Hall in the second round. You know what I'm saying? Now when you can go get a Bryce Hall in the second round, an Alvin Kamara in like the 3rd or 4th round, these guys are going later. You get a fresh running back next year in rounds 2 and 3.
I agree. I think
and then again, because you got to keep Daniel Jones. You got to keep Jones. He had this year too. because hopefully things don't fall off and we have the year we want to see. We see Jones get better. Maybe he doesn't take the elite type step, but he gets better. You now don't have him on a 5th-year option, so you might have to franchise him. So that's it. Like, that's what you build around. Every team in the NFL builds around a quarterback, not a running back anymore. Those days are over. Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, them days are done.
Listen,
no one does it anymore.
There's no more. We're talking about the draft. I don't know how we got into like the whole Barkley situation.
I asked the question.
We gotta stop that. We had this conversation over and over before them. So I'm done with it. We're gonna sign.
Don't worry about it. You'll hear about it all season long.
Everybody knows we're gonna sign Jones and Barkley to 10-year contracts. So just fucking stop it. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll get into the rest of the podcast. We'll come back with the Haters Club and some nonsense at the end. We'll be right back on the BBO NYG podcast. All right, we are back on the BBO NYG podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's Sean. Special guest Vin is back again this week. Guys, the Haters Club is upon us. I nominated about fucking 10 people so far. So, Jules and John, you have to nominate somebody, man. Who's it gonna be?
Welcome all you ignorant ass bitches, critics, complainers, disgruntled rappers, and racists especially, to the 9th annual International Player Haters Ball. Oh man, hey.
Now you got someone? Go first, buddy.
Me? Are you talking to me? I said I'm nominating you.
Oh.
at Jules NYC1.
All right. So I got this guy. He's somebody's burner account that just started because he's got 0 followers. It says it started in March 2022. So it's a brand new account. And he's just going and looking for old tweets. I mentioned something like the other day about fucking Bradbury. Like, I was like, it's so funny how like the New York Giants beat writers are so obsessed with Bradbury getting cut. I was like, I don't know why our Mark is the only one that loves to run people out of town. And then a couple people commented on it, and this kid fucking comments on that, comments on something else. You okay? So it's Kyler. It's KYLR. It's at KYLR 24142355. That's my burner account.
That
This
fake
is either a bot. I don't know what it is.
That's somebody you know, John. That's somebody you know. That's your friend.
It's fucking Jules. That's who it is.
It probably is Jules.
Don't tell nobody.
NYC1.
That was me. I probably would have threw like another 7 fucking like numbers to it. It would have been like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2.
That's a person not even trying when they set up the account. Like, just at least try. Come up with a fucking name. You know what I mean? That's the shit they give you. You know, you just click on it, you lazy fucks. So that's your nomination.
It's probably a bot, honestly. It's probably a bot.
Some fucking Jet fan bot. Jules, who do you have?
So I got 2, believe it or not, right? But because one is definitely going to be a little bit more directed towards the Giants. And the other one was just some cat that I got into it with over the week, last week, before the weekend. And that was Official Bandit. And he's got like almost looks like he's a Tampa Bay fan or whatever. But the whole reason with him started was he had come out and he was basically saying that Cooper Kupp is a system wide receiver and is not be considered an elite wide receiver. And I was like, wow. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, wait, what point makes you? Oh, well, McVay is such an amazing offensive coach that he's able to force feed him the ball. I said, first of all, the guy's got to still come out and perform. I was like, and if you look at his numbers over 3 seasons, they're incredible. It's not like he's just like he had 1 or 2 good seasons. You know, you could say this season because Robert Woods was hurt, and Odell Beckham came in late and he got hurt a little bit. Like, no. This dude's been doing it for years. He did it with Matt Stafford. He did it with Jared Goff. Like, give the fucking kid a break. Like, yes, there is systems that are involved that do heighten certain players' abilities, right? And we touched on that earlier.
Isn't that the point of a coach?
Right. You know, so
that's the whole logic of it.
Got the best out of his players. But you can't sit here and tell me that if Cooper Kupp went to Tampa Bay and Brady wanted to make him his number 1 guy, he's not going to catch 100 fucking passes. Like, shut the fuck up. It's going to happen. Oh, but then, and this is the shit he was throwing me. He goes, yeah, but then he's playing with Tom Brady, who's one of the greatest of all time. So I'm like, yeah, I can't with this fucking dude anymore. So that was the nonsense there. And then like he was like really trying to get a rise out of me. And I kind of caught on to that. So I held back a little bit. Maybe he listens to the podcast and he knows that I can go a little crazy and go on one of my tangents. And he was trying to get me to do that. And I caught it. And I was like, you know what?
Right.
No, I got this. It's during the day, buddy. When the sun's out, I don't get crazy like that.
You won't like
But,
me.
and you know, we kind of pulled it back because he was like trying to come at me with shit like, oh, that's what just a a regular fan would think and all this bullshit. I'm like, bro,
Wow.
I'm dropping different things on you, so enough. But that's his fucking claim to fame, and we didn't really get into Giants, so I'm not going to really keep talking about him. But I will tell you who I went after, and I went after them hard. And I even got a warning from Twitter. It was like, normally they said most people don't tweet this. Are you sure you want to tweet? I was like, absolutely.
Yep.
So it was at PFF_fucking fantasy. Whoever is the fucking people that tweet for that fucking site should be fired immediately. PFF, I'm not bad at fantasy football, and I can do a hell of a lot better than those fucking clowns. All right. They literally had up there, like they had 4 receivers from the end. Let's just start there, right? So obviously it was CeeDee Lamb, it was AJ Brown, it was the scary Terry over in fucking Washington. And then they put up Devonta Smith. So it's like, wait a minute, the Eagles get 2 fucking representatives. Like,
wow.
Which one of these fucking wide receivers are going to shine in the NFC East? And it's like, so the Giants don't even get 1. The Eagles end up with 2. And it's like, they also threw out one where it was like Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devonta Smith. Who's going to stop this? I'm like, most of the NFL? Oh, you guys are fucking retarded, dude. I can't take this shit anymore. So yeah, they literally have them being like they're gonna be the best offense in the NFC East, hands down, as if Jalen Hurts learned how to throw a fucking football over the last 6 months.
So you're just hating them because you're mad at their take. They didn't come back at you with anything.
Oh, because they're PFF. They think
you're just so angry. You're so angry that you're gonna nominate them in the haters club. That wasn't the rules, Jules.
Well, I'm just saying, because you know what it was? I was really hoping, because usually when you go out like celebrities like Kim Jones and people like that, usually you get the block back. Usually you got to keep attacking them. You got to keep going at them. You feel like, I got blocked. I got to him. I still haven't gotten blocked. I don't know why.
You need to go harder.
Block me, motherfuckers.
Go harder, man. Go send out 100 tweets directed like profanity at them every night until you get that fucking
That's it. I got to reach that status. I think when we get closer to the season, it's gonna be a lot like fucking like stupid shit where I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting ready to pick my fantasy quarterback, and Josh Allen's on the board. But according to PFF Fantasy, I should probably take Kyler Murray.
You got to get thrown in Twitter jail, man. You need to get thrown in there at least one time in your life.
That's fair. You guys have been in there so many times. They don't want to throw me in jail yet. I'm like the outlaw. They can't fucking wrangle in yet.
Oh, yeah. They caught me day one. I was one of the first to go. All right. Well, you guys have been fantastic with your draft talk and all your perspective on things with Giants Nation. What else, Jules? What else we got to talk? We're going to wrap up.
One thing before we wrap up is just to kind of talk about it, because it's pretty cool, and it just kind of shows you what kind of a class act Gano is. And I definitely want to get into a little talk about this for a quick moment before we wrap up and just kind of get a quick feel of how everyone feels in the room, is that Gano officially said that he will let Dibs take the number 5 jersey, which first of all is pretty fucking badass, because, unless we go back to the days of Y.A. Tittle, I don't know if there's ever been a Giant that played on defense, in the front 7 that had a single digit as their fucking number. So that's going to be pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Come off the edge with number 5. Like I was saying that a couple weeks back when we drafted him. So that's going to be fucking pretty awesome. The thing that's bothering me a little bit, I was such a fan of the guy. I've been talking him up for fucking weeks and months and all this shit. I want to go out and buy that jersey, and every fucking Giants fan I talk to, oh my God, I'm going to get a Dibs jersey. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to run out. There's going to be 75 fucking people standing next to me at the bar all wearing number 5. It's going to fucking drive me nuts, dude.
Get an Evan Neal one. Get an Evan Neal jersey.
Yeah.
Oh,
be different. Andrew Thomas. Bro. Go get an Andrew Thomas jersey.
I'm going to buy you a Saquon jersey, actually.
I think I got to go McKinney. I think I got to go McKinney or fucking Ojolari. And I just got to hold true to my guys from last year. Bro, I don't know.
You should have an Ojolari fucking.
I should. You know what? You're right. Thank you, John. You're right. This is what I
literally.
I was like, who the hell is this guy Aziz Jules keeps talking about? on the podcast last year.
That's
singing
fair.
it, bro,
All right,
for
you
like
know what?
4
Maybe I
months. He
will
was
just
singing
go get my old
Ojulari.
Ojulari jersey and call it a day. That is
Yeah, I
because
would
you know
do
what?
that. I
Look,
would
if he had,
I'm gonna
if he-
order
if
right
he
now,
had-
bro. I'm gonna give him a happy belated birthday.
Oh,
What
thank you,
size
sir.
are
No, 'cause you know
Size
what?
double X.
I don't know. I'm trying to slip back down. Summer's around the corner, baby.
I know.
Uh,
Sure is.
no, but you know what? Listen, if Ojulari had 8 sacks last season, and with now having like actual like a really nice pass rusher, which we hope to be on the other end, who knows? I mean, look, if you really want to kind of compare it, and have some sort of tandem, right? Someone's going to be OC, someone's going to be Strahan, someone's going to be Carl Banks, someone's going to be Taylor, right? So we don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, especially with this dude coming in his first year, yeah, we're hoping big. But what if he has like a monster opening month in September into October, and all of a sudden he starts getting all the focus, and now Ojulari's getting one-on-one coverage, and there's no and he comes into it starts being a beast. So you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that they both come close to double-digit sacks.
What if
I feel
week
like
one?
that's how good teams work.
Yeah, there
Teams
you
start
go.
adapting, scheming to the other guy, opens up. That's why you want to have,
Yep.
2 good offensive tackles. You want to have 2 good defensive tackles for that exact reason.
What happens week one when we have like 12 sacks against Kirk Cousins? Is Giants Twitter just gonna go fucking
Kirk Cousins?
go nuts? Right? Doesn't
Are we
Minnesota have
playing Minnesota
Cousins?
week 1?
Yeah, week one, Minnesota.
Oh yeah, well,
didn't
we
know
heard
that.
from our source. Vinny has a source that
Vin.
says that. So you guys are
I
gonna hear it
heard.
first. If you listen before the schedule comes out on Thursday,
I
all right,
heard
it's only
Minnesota.
Monday. We got a source that says we're gonna play Minnesota week 1. All right,
Wait,
so-
in Minnesota?
I think so. Yeah, we're away, Minnesota, week 1.
Fuck. That's
All right.
annoying.
Yeah, we'll have no corners to D up Diggs and you know what I mean? We're done, man.
No, they have Jeff Jefferson, right?
Oh yeah, Jeff.
And
Yeah.
we can put a Dory Jackson on him. He's gonna have a long day, but whatever. He'll be D'ing him up on him. And Dalvin Cook, he ain't shit, bro. Fuck Dalvin Cook. Everybody drafted him. PFF_fantasy. Dalvin Cook sucks. He sent me in the top 5 this year.
But Daniel Jones is gonna have 4 touchdowns, and we're gonna have 4 sacks in the team. We're gonna win 28-13.
Be
No,
nasty.
but guys, is there any? Because there seems to be that now we went
I
out, we
wanna
got
fucking go to that game, man.
we got Dibs, and Dibs is gonna be able to wear 5, and that is gonna be a badass fucking jersey to own, which is just gonna force me to go out and get his Oregon jersey just so I can be that kind of guy. But with that said, is there any jerseys that you guys are going out to get this year?
None.
Nothing?
a neon green Oregon jersey. Yeah, I can see you wear that shit.
No, yeah, I want to get the yellow one. That's even more annoying.
Like
So I
there's
look
you
a
have-
fucking
he's
highlight
like
on
bright.
my-
He's like bright like a fucking cone in the fucking city, man. Fucking
Do
reflective.
you have a
and
hat to
shit.
match?
Yeah, nah. Then I wear my Giants blue hat just to fuck people up. You got to put a cap on that highlighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I kind of want a Tibbs jersey. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I kind of want it. I think I'm gonna
I
have to get
know
it.
it just sucks, dude. I mean, once I saw Gano give up that he was getting 5, bro. All you see being tweeted out is like a fucking like somebody like sewing, and you see like the fucking Tibbs and the number 5 being stitched into the Giants jersey everywhere all day long. Everybody's like, "Yo, what color you getting?" So I'm gonna get the other color. And I'm like, "God, Jesus Christ, dude, fuck you guys! I should have just got that shit fucking draft night."
Color Rush Tibbs jersey. That'd be sick.
I'm sorry, man. You're gonna see me come out with either that fucking bright neon yellow one, or Oregon does have like a cool ass black jersey. That's pretty badass. It's got like the fucking duck wings on it and shit like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was kind of dope. I might look into doing something like that just to whatever. But you guys are right. I think you convinced me. I gotta go out and get the fucking old Jalari jersey. That's got to be mine.
Yeah, that's your
I gotta
boy,
own
bro. You
it.
should have a
I gotta
tattoo of his
fucking
name.
own it, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I get it. I get the Carl Banks jersey.
Take it. I like that, man.
Ojulari's number 51, right?
Yeah.
You have 5 and 51. That's pretty cool.
What about you, Vin? You pumped to get any jerseys this year now?
I don't know.
Tyrod Taylor.
I usually go vintage. I usually go old school. Guys that have retired and stuff. Because every time I
Eli
get a jersey,
Strahan.
yeah, it was every time I get a jersey, the guy fucking gets traded, released.
Jason Sehorn.
ACL,
jersey.
you know. Oh my God, I'm like cursed with the jerseys. So I usually go old school. I always, I'm ramping up to get a red Eli Manning jersey. That's what I'll probably end up getting.
See,
I
fans,
definitely had one of those back in the day for sure.
for the fans that listened, like if you just want Vinny to, pick a guy like you don't want any more on the Giants, just tell him his name,
Pretty
and
much.
all of a sudden he won't be on the Giants anymore.
Pretty much.
You know, Just
Or
don't
you know
say
what? You know what?
Barkley.
I gotta tell you though, you know what was funky? You always when you go to a Giant Stadium, the old Giant Stadium, or even MetLife, it was always cool to see like people with the obscure players' jerseys. Like when you see a kicker or a punter,
That's
it
family.
turns my
That's
head.
family. That's family members.
Yo,
Usually it's family members because you don't
Or
go to
they
the
were like the
stadium.
punter kicker in high school.
Or
And
Oh,
then
they
Riley
met him- they
Dixon's
met him
the
at bar
best.
a couple weeks ago.
Yo, but to walk around with a Gano jersey, like I
crazy.
think it's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? It's different.
I was
you know?
thinking about it today. I'm not gonna lie, with the whole jersey switch and the numbers, I'm like, now I kind of want a Gano jersey, but I know
What's
people
his
are
new
thinking
number?
the same way, like you,
What's
Vin.
his
I
new
Yo,
know.
it's like crazy.
Does anybody know what Gano's new number is?
I'm walking those new number. It's probably gonna be 9, right?
9?
He said
Yo,
9,
that's
yeah.
it. You gotta get it,
He
Mike.
said 9?
Okay.
Dude, I gotta get that shit, right?
Could be dope. Color rush that motherfucker.
Where are they from again? Oh, they're Scottish. That's what Graham Gano is. He's Scottish. Him and Lawrence Tynes.
I'll be at the
I bet you
jersey.
there's a
They're gonna
million
ask-
fucking Gano jerseys in Scotland.
I'm gonna be at the game. They're gonna ask me, "Oh, you Gano's family?" I'm like, "Yep."
I was actually the better kicker in the family, but you know what?
You-
Like,
you want-
I had a leg injury.
You want to see me kick this beer to section 338?
Section 338.
All right, so I think that's it with the pod. Finn, you got any last
that
words, man?
definitely wraps us up for this week for sure.
I'll be watching for the schedule release on Thursday. I'm hoping that they don't bunch these games up where they make us travel for a Sunday night and then make us travel for a Thursday night like they did last year. They kind of screwed us up. The schedule to me, honestly, and you guys are probably going to give me some resistance on this, I feel like it's like 70 to 80% of a team's success. I really do. I think it's huge.
The way it's set up, yeah.
Yo, the schedules are so goddamn important now where it's like, you could have a really good team. To me, your success is health and your schedule. I think it's that important. So I'll be watching especially for the Giants, but for our division in general. And me and my brother, and you guys are invited if you want to come with us. We've been going every year to an away game. And we're looking at the Tennessee game. We've never been to Tennessee, and we think that would be really cool. We're hoping that would be earlier in the year. Last year, we went to the Dolphin Stadium to check out Miami. Fucking Daniel Jones was throwing the ball in the pregame. We're like, yo, maybe Jones is going to play. And we got Glennon. And Tua just picked us apart with his horrific, slow offense. And we were down there for that. So we're hoping the Tennessee game will be early. Green Bay we get in London this year. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
So that would have been a trip to Lambeau, which we've done before. But
Well, why not? Why not make the trip to fucking Wembley and head out to London, bro?
Go
I've been
across
looking
the
it up.
pond.
Like,
They're
yo,
not playing
know
at
if I wanna
Wembley. They're
go-
playing at Tottenham.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That's right. They're not at Wembley this year. That's
I don't
right.
know if I want to go to London for an NFL football game. I'm also a soccer fan, so I'd probably go for soccer. I don't know. We want to see all the stadiums in the States.
That's fair, that's
So I want to do Tennessee.
That's fair, yeah.
Tennessee, I think would be dope. A dope weekend. You guys went there for the draft, right?
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
Mike went for the draft. I went there for work related business, but it was Nashville is fun.
I want to
Nashville's
move
a
there.
fun fucking town.
I
And
want
like,
to
yo,
move there, bro.
yeah,
Really? It's like that?
and
It's like that?
Literally
Yeah,
right
here
here.
it's big
you know
for
what I
like
mean?
bachelor parties and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
my,
Oh.
it's ridiculous.
Believe it or not, like Nashville is like in the top 3 for bachelor and bachelorette parties in the United States. Like
It's
that
every
is
list
an
you look
area. If you're into live music and it's not all country, it's like a little rock too to mix in. There's live bands that play every night in every bar. It could be a Tuesday night.
If that game is a 1:00 game on a Sunday in like October, I think that's where we're going. That's what we're gonna do.
All right,
work it out.
listen. Maybe the BBLNYG will have some representatives there for this
Oh,
one.
yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to an away game. Me and my brother
All right.
have done it every year. So
Well, we hope to have you on at least before the season starts again, because then we're going to get some more, preseason predictions and all that kind of good shit.
Yeah.
Because as of now, guys, the under-over is at 7.5. And believe it or not, the Giants are, I believe, only plus 800 or something low, 8,000 rather, to win sorry, I got that confused with the Yankees. The Yankees were, when the season opened, plus 1,300. They dropped down to plus 800 to win the World Series. The Giants are plus 8,000 to win the World Series this year. but excuse me, Super Bowl.
The
But
World
the Washington is plus 7,000. So they're only 1,000 apart. But when it comes to the division, the Giants are like plus 650 and Washington's like 450. So it don't make any fucking sense why there would be that much of a drop off. The percentages don't work out, but that's where they are. It'll be interesting to see where all that shit is.
Where the
before
money's going.
What's that?
A lot of it has to do with the like public perception and where the money's
Right.
being spent right now. So that could just be a I don't know, byproduct of that.
But I'll tell you though, Mike, with that 8,000 to 1, I mean, I might just throw $25 on it. I keep saying that, a quick fucking $2,000 for a $25 bet if it ever happened.
I'll bet a couple thousand on the division for sure. That's
The division's interesting. The division is. I definitely want to see what some of the the mini camps look like, and maybe preseason, all that kind of nonsense, just to see what we have.
Yeah, throw a couple
And make
grand
sure
on it.
there's no stupid injuries, and
They're
make sure these guys show up, and make sure they get their fucking equipment correct.
Bro, you
and
hate
see
Tony
all
so
those
much.
check the boxes. All right, as I
Hey,
told you,
hey,
team went
hey,
down. I'm gonna be
hey,
hating on Tony, baby.
Hey,
Yeah.
All right, they want to fuck with the hate master. That's why we got this segment. All right.
that's all right. Let's wrap it up, man.
We wrap this bitch up, man. That's another wrap up. That's another episode of the BBONYG. You know where to find us. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button. Tell us, give us some feedback. We love all that kind of content and everything else. Obviously, if you disagree with any part of the show, you can be part of the haters ball segment. And if you come back and you're good with it, we'll bring you on the show. That's what it's all about. Have some fun on the haters segment. And if you really graduate, you work up the ladder, you got to go one-on-one with me. Not only kidding, but
Hey.
that definitely wraps up another episode of the BBONYG. Vin, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
We'll definitely see you guys later this week, next week for sure. But for now, stay good and don't buy too many fucking tip jerseys. All right, we're out of here. Peace.